What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Teboho, Masakala, and Mr. Strong in the Courageous. Guys, thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting us on episode 1. Yashamin, don't forget to subscribe and always make sure you hit the notification button. Listen, guys, I keep on saying like I promised to. Give me the one and only Mr. Guluva. Gusheshe. How's it, my guy?
Thank you so much.
Sure. Welcome to All Things Free State. All that.
Finally, I'm here. I'm here and I'm very delighted and honored. So I'm very happy to be here. So, it's an honor.
Before we get where are you going? Soulful Sounds or Makufi?
Well, I have to toss a coin for that one.
Okay.
You don't know what the head it takes. Which one is which? Yeah.
Okay, Jaga, who are you here? Who is Gulu?
No, it depends because now, like a chameleon, I change the color of the surface.
Yeah.
So also I feel like same as I keep then I become there. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but then, I don't know. You are talking about Guluva as a brand or Guluva as a character.
Guluva the person.
The person. All right. Now the person came about the direction music. You know how powerful music is.
Yeah.
Yes. So the name Guluva is it's a broad name. Definition I think in Chumwekatu. You understand? But then the music Zola made me who I am today.
So you inspired Kizola, hence the name Guluva.
Yes. Because he was saying somehow I'm recruiting soldiers of Guluva army. You understand? Similar situation to what Peter Tosh said about recruiting soldiers of their army.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who is Solomon Sehloho?
Yes.
Solomon Sehloho Kima.
Yes.
Okay.
And Solomon means wisdom and light. You know that? Yeah. The soul part is for the light and the Oman part is for wisdom. So Solomon Sehloho is a guy, regular guy, waka Simon and Tabancho. I've got so many families. Motheo. So and I was raised Koratu. Yes.
Yeah.
And now we are in Silosisha, which is where my mother and father decided to come out. You understand what I mean? So I, just like any random guy, Wakasi, I grew up loving better things. So I just love challenges and things that have never been explored.
Yeah.
I always want to be the first in everything.
So talking about growing up, take us a little bit back, like paint a picture for us. How was it growing up? What games were you playing?
I grew up like a farm boy. That's why even on radio I like to say Kimfanangu. You understand what I mean? I grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather. And then as a result, we grew up and stuff like that. No, yeah.
Because you said,
yes.
Yeah.
Hence I said I have a big family. My father's father, which is my grandfather, was the one that was delivering stuff like they were selling boloko, they were selling lebesi, and we were working in 24/7, doing body plantation and whatnot, body spinach and whatnot, and then that's when Kennedy was introduced to the rural side, for a better word, and then on this upper side, I was busy with engines. I was always fascinated by engines and cables. Yeah, you understand.
So how were you as a child? Well, as a child, how were you?
I was very, very still. And from Miponi, I went to Ikalelo Secondary, and then we were forced to find class tricky because Ikalelo at that point is grade 12. You understand? So I ended up Komoroka, and then from there I went to Motheo, TVET, and then I went to ATTI. I was studying multimedia, graphic design, and web development. And in the midst of all that, radio got introduced to me.
Radio?
Yes. Okay, alright. Maybe I can tell me, understand what I mean. So so growing up, Jenny Akaya school. Yeah. So I had to do things. They were not there, Kokas. I wanted something that can challenge me and make me stand out while I'm at it. So everything that we can all do, I don't like doing. Something that people are reluctant in doing. So yeah, that was just me all along.
Did you grow up in Body Koloi, Body Khatil, like your normal games during childhood?
Yeah, I think what I loved the most is like my party.
The Black Party.
So yeah, you're in a kid because Kaka there were seasons. This season, towards June, July, August, and then then come summertime, people did like my party and so forth. I was always part of those things because they make us who we are today. That's what's up.
So you look like a Motanali very naughty. That guy looks like you. He was a very naughty person.
Yeah.
Were you getting spanked?
A lot. We form a line there. So I always knew I might get a highly baking in Anna, so I need to pretend to be sick.
So already, how could you be?
But you know, as a child, because you need to know how to, act. In a way, because whatever I get, there's no way I can't get a hiding. So you need to behave in a certain manner. Even though I don't punish her, but they must think, so I was just dead for what? About everything else.
Okay. How good is your hair?
My favorite.
How Kimang are inspiring to be on radio and have a look at the Jamie so till you did your first show.
I was always looking forward for somebody to ask me that question. We did so many years ago. Now, go to Kinam. Anyway, the journey radio and how it started out, I can say that the two songs growing up, how we are school when you listen to Bundade Chomani, and then there was that thing. Soft so you always knew what time it is, kind of without even looking at the clock or what. So from there I realized there comes a point, especially December and so forth, when people are playing the wireless and you can find that you don't know next door and we get inside the car because we used to travel a lot with my grandmother because she was selling Gusheshe and so forth, so we used to go around a lot. We are the family. So I would find that you move from home, you get inside a car, you move from the car, you get inside another home, from there to another home. This guy is still talking. So because of things that were going on in my head, I always felt like I can't have a speaker as a soul, and just talk to everybody at the same time. So when that thing hit me, I realized this guy is talking to so many people because even if we get into a taxi, he's still talking.
So when you're curious for like, because
that's the thing. When you're in like this radio, you're thinking they are dealing directly with that one, and then you move to another one, and then there's that thing. And there was this guy, Kaya Cool. From Radio Bob, favorite music radio, Medium Wave 540. Yes! So every time, we used to watch my grandmother's back, and then we would listen to radio because they were playing a lot of songs on Fridays. So you would do that thing like, it's a freestyle Friday, guess who's not doing it? Baby, what? So I then got intrigued. So I started recording stuff like music, radio jingles. I didn't know what those things were, but I knew how they sounded because when I'm listening, cassette TDK 90. You understand? So I would put it in how much hours I've been, and then I would record. And then when they start talking, I would pause it, and then that's where we would take Bupa Mpira and put it on top of an original cassette. This is a disaster what I'm saying now. Anyway, and we would put it there and put it in the radio and record. So I would put in my verse and let that part their music it over and when you listen to it, it's like a demo. So I didn't know I was doing a demo at that time. So one day I wanted to become a radio presenter because I could feel what I'm doing now people need to hear. Because even at school, when we were having trips, they didn't play when if they played a song, I would back announce that song. Straight up. And then they would call me, hey man, I said, oh, come on, is that one now? Let's say. Then I would go, Mama, maybe, yeah. Then I would just ho in because I would listen to all of these other radio stations. I find that, okay, these people are saying the same thing, but they're not saying it the same way.
Yeah.
So where do I fit in? Then I found myself, then I sneaked in from there.
Yeah.
And I went to Mosupatsela. There was a meeting one day.
Which year did you go to Mosupatsela?
2005. Yeah, I was doing matric by then.
Yeah.
So I went there and they were like, no, on a space. It was one morning I was supposed to go to class. We cannot ATTI by that time.
Yeah.
I was enrolled with ATTI a year later. So 2005 I was still in matric.
Yeah.
And then after matric I went to ATTI. So in the midst of me going to ATTI, I was still hustling Mosupatsela.
To get into radio.
I was
Mosupatsela or like
you know what? They used to stand around Reagola complex. There were offices there, so I knew all of them from the calendar. Lady Jabo, DJ Lava, Simple, those are gifted them. So I would be around them, listen to what they talk about when they are off air, try to get what they are on and off air. You understand? So when I got to ATTI, I got the chance to work at school. So in the midst of me going to school, sometimes I would tend to and just go and see how those not space, and they would tell me on a space.
So how did it make you feel? Space like I think I would
it did at some point, you know, because you wonder if is the nicest way of them saying to you, but in fact, they know my name by now.
Yeah.
So I started. I gave him my So I got there. I'm telling them. So now I know him. He doesn't know me.
Yeah.
So all Zampona is this guy and then I get to know about American one day. And I just gave him my 5 friends. I was like, if you let DJ Lovers, probably it would count in my face. So my 5 friends by now something we say to it. Yes, so one day I got there and then they were having an audition. And then I remember Tadile Mamat was part of, they were having a meeting. So when I got there I was knocking and then they were like, come in. I get there I knew what was happening. So I didn't to be a fool, you know. Sometimes you need to play your game. So I went there and then they were like, they in my mind I knew they were gonna laugh. But something told me they were gonna laugh and they were gonna stop laughing because whatever I'm doing now, they are also doing. You understand? So I kind of like took a risk and then I did an open audition somewhere on the spot and they started laughing. And then they became quiet. And then all of a sudden somebody started clapping and everybody started clapping. And before we knew it, there was this what do you call it? Tying my umbrella and then we will come and talk. And then I was a regular caller by then. So my name was like domestic by fire by force. And eventually they were like, okay, fine, in fact we can see when we're determined to do this thing. So please gather information here, hip hop. And I didn't know anything about hip hop. Okay, I love the music, but I didn't know.
So that was your first show?
Yeah, the hip hop campus with Idumele Dukan. It was July the 27th, 2006.
For sure,
it was 7:30. It was on a Friday. Temperature 32 degrees Celsius in the morning. Anyway,
your first show. Let's get into your first show.
Yeah.
How was it? Like, did you know Michin? How to maneuver around?
No.
Michin? Like, were you taught or like?
Funny enough, I went to visit this other lady. I forgot her name, sorry, but she was a Xhosa speaking lady. I had 12 to 3 there. So when she was doing that thing, because I was always imitating radio at home, so I wanted to see when she goes on air, what does she do? And then luckily for me, they were using analog, so there were not so many smart controls. So I decided to look at that thing because when I was studying IT, go ATTI, so the computer was my friend at that point. So I needed to figure out the table. So yeah, that's how it went like. And then I remember my first show, I set a radio good recorded by that time because I was going on air 25 to 8, showing in 7:30 to 9. So 25 to 8 I'm on air. So immediately I said that radio record is when I'm gonna go on air.
Yeah.
So I rehearsed this script. So I was like flowing, and then there was Kebra Sion, the late master.
Yeah.
Yes, may his soul continue to rest in peace. And he was doing the freestyle.
Yeah.
So we kind of like gelled
together.
Yeah. So
nice.
we started doing that, and then one day, the presenter didn't come to work.
That's an opportunity.
That was my opportunity. And then we were doing 7:30 to 9. Then 9 o'clock there was no other presenter. It was raining, there was no transport. It was just a mess. There was an event and so many things.
So and then you were still in Motabat.
I was still based in Taban.
So you will like transport, you will go to Motabat.
I would go to Motabat. At some point I stole a horse.
You stole a horse?
Yeah, I didn't have point of transport. But it was not, I'm not used to consistency. Go to get consistency, you understand? So we have to go there every Friday. So one Friday I don't have money, and by this time I gotta be there. And the only thing that I know can get me there is popular. You know, so I just have to go there by Sunset King and just find my way to C2 and have the overall if I say I'm and tell that I can't just like everybody else. But I did my show.
But how has the journey been? Because I understand after that you hosted a couple of shows and then you worked with Mutuza, ne? How was it working with Mutuza?
Well, Mutuza, I trained her. I was also a trainee, but the way I was already trained. I trained, they just gave me the basics. So because of the way we were doing, management kept calling, but when you love what you're doing, and there were awards, and you know, you get inspired and you get strong and courageous at the same time. So we kept pushing here and then I was with Muntuza, another guy was training Sibabato Mokebe, and they were naming themselves after the Pina Ganabe. So Sibabato Pizza Sponky Love, you know that Sponky Love.
So Muntuza, we naming she named us after where Muntuza?
Malaika.
Malaika.
Yes, Muntuza So we started working in and it was very, very amazing because we were in it for the love of it. You understand? It was not about the likes and followers and everything. It was just about the craft. So it was very amazing.
Do you think like having many followers was into the art of radio? This thing because they have followers. Do you think the bus near radio those people? After like the owner see people managers they just want numbers.
You know what I think, I think social media as a whole if I clear in a way, you know, when it comes to certain things. Because now remember other people, even myself when I wanted to start Mona Radio, I bumped into that like Ikacha. I was doing Job 30 at that time. And he told me it's either you go to a community radio station or you go and study communication. When I asked him, what one do you prefer? Other people go to study, but then they when it comes to practical, it becomes a problem. So now this one here, how you the followers and whatnot, even the craft itself, you understand? Because there are certain aspects that make you stand out as a presenter, you understand? Like there's a lot that goes in before show EMOE. So with what's going on right now, if you have the numbers, you can swing it wherever way you want. So that's what I believe is slowly but surely a slow poison. But there are legends in the industry that are defending this. But what's one I learned that sometimes I look to those people because they started this thing when we didn't think we would qualify, because you had to be a teacher, you know, to be able to be.
So Fims FM, during your first stint, the first time we were there, who did you enjoy working with the most, and who was the least person you enjoyed working with?
Anyway, I enjoyed working with Kebra Sion. I enjoyed working with that guy because every time we meet, whenever we wanna depart, like there's something new that I've learned. You understand? And especially the fact that I was speaking a foreign language to my friends, and he kinda understood, and he was coming from the same background, and he enlightened me because he had no experience. So it was a bliss working with him.
And then who was the least person?
Well, the least person,
okay,
fine. The least person to work with was DJ Colorless.
What?
Hey, that guy. No, not necessarily. You understand? You know why? As a radio presenter, that's why it's important to have scripts. You know, creativity when you're freestyling is everything. You understand? So I don't really love that when you're on air and you're saying something. It's like when you, like maybe say, when you're talking about the weather, and you say actually you have art, and that guy, you will say actually you have art, then you will say. Piano Gamma, I said, no, Piano Gamma. They kept repeating everything I say, and you don't know if it's a joke, but you can see this joke is going on forever now. I quickly so yeah, that was okay. That was something else. Yeah, that was the only person in getting.
So has there ever been like a lady? I know. In every workplace, whenever there's a new guy, there's a new chick. The guy the lady the guy. Was there a lady called Mosupatsela the first time you were there? That you dated or like you were
you know the 11th man strategy? Yeah. I always believe in that. The 11th man strategy. If I knew, like when I was working at the call center, because I worked there at some point, everybody on a fit never meets up or it's a file that has never been worked. So whoever that's there, they've never dated that person, so we call them O.
So what's the O it must have?
So the O it must have was not really a presenter, more of a regular
management. Was she management?
Yeah, she was kind of like in management. So, but we never dated, you know.
What's her name? Just me and you. There's no one. It's just me and you. What's her name?
Wow, hey.
What's her name?
The world is gonna kill me. Do I remember her name? Well,
Mutuza, is that you?
No. There's a lady there that was working in the financial department.
Okay. Yes. So
yeah, that's what.
Motheo FM. Why did you leave Motheo FM to Motheo?
Well, in my mind, when I started this thing, I never got any sort of formal training. So when you are listening to presenters and now you are a presenter, you hear radio differently. You know exactly what that guy is doing. You know exactly where he flopped and stuff like that. So when I listened to Motheo, I then went to the studio at Motheo after listening to it. You understand? So that's when I got sold. When I got there, I saw the equipment. It just woke up something in me. I remember back then they were having studio silence and the mic, the ones that they use in parliament and stuff. So yeah, that thing, it just drew my attention. Yeah, because you understand? So the height of the table and the controls, everything was just here for you. So I joined it, and then when I got there, there were things that I was taught, and there were opportunities that I was given because I was.
What were the opportunities?
I got to do daytime radio. Like when I got to Motheo, the programs manager at that point, Inele Leboham Matolo. Yes.
The station manager?
The station manager did that at my age. Yes. I think that was 2009. 10, 2009, 2010, somewhere there. And then December 2010, I joined Motheo, and then I hustled them. I didn't just flow in there. I remember at some point, Leboham Matolo said to me, you know, I'm irritated by you, so I'm just gonna give you a chance. And I was like, and then he was like, okay, fine, I've been calling and checking, doing a background check, and people are saying all wonderful things about you, so I'm gonna take a risk, but please don't make me regret this. And I told him, you're gonna regret. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why you say that? You know, the only thing you're gonna regret is taking so long to put me on, but I'm gonna make you proud. And yes, I grew from that. I got to do Body Top 30 drive, so it was a total new experience. You know, daytime radio. Yes. Yes. Most of the time. That's how I got into Mosupatsela, by the way.
Oh, like using Setswana.
Because at home I was. I'm working with food. I'm working with radio. So by work, by birth, so I can actually do a show in Sesotho or do a show in Setswana. It just depends on what the mood is or what the criteria of the show is.
So how was it go Motheo? The working environment, how was it?
Like I can say Motheo it introduced me to a lot of new things. The OB, like outside broadcast, my first outside broadcast I did it go Motheo.
Yeah.
And I was panicking like hell. Because I'm a shy somebody sometimes, but at some point you would he's out there, you understand?
Yeah.
So yes, with Motheo, it introduced me to a lot of things like body OB, getting to meet people that you never thought you would meet, interviewing people that are A-listers of the industry. So that in itself, it took me a lot. And at Teboho, we went to workshops, stuff like that, and there are things that you need to submit before you go on air, and then professionalism, you understand. So I got to, because most of the time when I was in Mosupatsela, I was always shadowing somebody else. I get a Sholi Mama, people that have been there before me. And then with Kebra, we were both there and we were given an equal opportunity. So with Motheo, they were already doing stuff, so I had to learn as best as I can.
So were there egos during your time? That's why there are egos everywhere. There are egos in radio stations. There are those presenters say like who think they are above others. There were egos, like because of fame or because they are not, there are always egos, even in the workplace where there are egos.
I don't wanna lie to you. Take a radio presenter and take an actor or an actress, put them in they are good.
Where there are egos.
The reason why I'm saying that politician. The reason why I'm saying that is because even if they were well hidden. But me, I'm one person. You see, I have this on my chest. So me, I'm one person. I can tell if you are pretending. I can tell if you've been real. So if you wanna play the pretense game, for the sake of peace, let's play it.
So there were egos.
There were somewhere. As a presenter, even myself. If you see somebody Guluva, you're gonna train this person. First of all, you wonder, is my job safe? You understand? So you try by all means not to give that person negative energy, but it depends how good you are. You understand? But now I trust myself. You can bring them on. I don't fear any radio presenter in their world. I don't.
So how many shows have you done so far, Motheo?
I've done quite a lot, I must say. I've done 12 to 3. As a stand-in, I've done afternoon drive. Well, the first show that I've done for Motheo, it's called, what's the name of the show again? It's 1 to 6 in the morning. It's a graveyard slot. Because, funny enough, a lot of radio presenters don't like that spot. But radio is nostalgic. It hits different, you understand? So I was doing the afternoon drive, I got nominated for the awards, and I didn't win. And then I went to do changes, I went to do that show, I was saying, and then I won, you understand? And then
Golden Bean,
Golden Bean, yes. And I won Golden Bean, and then I won another Golden Bean, you understand? And I was doing the graveyard slot. And then Mosupatsela, as I was doing the graveyard slot, we got absorbed permanently because of what we were doing. After I was doing a morning show for Motheo, I was then asked the listener, so when are you going back to Mosupatsela to go and do the graveyard slot? That's how powerful that show was.
So in both radio stations, while you were working, were you getting paid?
I was getting compensated. Yes. I think that's a
you're getting paid.
Delicate term.
You're getting compensated.
Yes. So it's all in all, I've done almost the morning drive.
I used to listen to that show on a research. It was
Yeah,
well
no.
packaged. It was well packaged.
Because that was me that was failing her. In
Yeah.
most cases, if a show didn't go accordingly, it was because of I didn't do thorough research or
Yeah.
practice or rehearsal. But
Yeah.
it was always on my side.
So I want to ask you. You are on radio, or yes, at some point you get fame.
Yes.
Yeah. Have fame here how? Because of what you are doing already, or because of you are good at. Has it attracted some form of enemies who are jealous about what you do?
A lot. You understand? Because I believe when you are from the same neighborhood, you find that people get to an extent where they're thinking, you should pop up fella. You know? Because growing up, I was always told, because people don't know what's going on inside there. You understand? So it created enemies because of the attention it comes with, the level of respect other people give you. You understand? There are people in society we all look up to, and that same person comes to you and say, Tate Guluva, or 1, 2, 3, you know, showing that we respect what you do. And other people, to them it comes like something else. And you know the ladies. You understand? And then you when you get somewhere, you're like, so at some point it's scary, but you get used to that because it all goes back to what you do in your spare time. So those are the challenges that come with the shade of radio.
Let's go back to Motheo.
Yes.
Let's go back to, I call it the revolution because it has revolutionized things. Let's go back to the era, the former station manager, Memango.
Yes. Yeah.
Take us. What happened that led to the protest?
Well,
because we saw it. I was listening to radio. Presenters were on air. Balwana, this and this and that. I remember Ikasa even had to go. There were police. What happened that led to that protest?
I can say in every workplace, issue here. Working material is never a difficult or complicated subject to get into. But issue here, the payments, it's sensitive. Well, in every environment, doesn't matter the department in your or for the entity in your field. So with that being said, that one Motheo, I think at some point it is a lack of communication versus emotions. You understand? Because as a presenter, when you are on the floor, you're always thinking, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, unless if you get let in, you understand? And you know, in every environment, there will always be that one person, we don't know how they got there, but eventually they got there, you understand? So, we were planning to do this the right way because we were getting, legal advice, you understand, and so forth. But then, things got out of hand when things got emotional. Because now people, you know, there are people that express themselves on the go. So in most cases, when you are fighting for a common cause, and when now it becomes suspicious, you know? And when you go in and you are not being listened to, at some point the direction you are heading might lead to disaster. So the basic thing that was being fought for Kanaboyo innerly increased. So the manner in which it went,
I know they wanted increase, they wanted contracts.
Wanted contracts, increase, better studio equipment, like the basics. But I think what made it trend is toilet paper.
I was gonna come there. There were no toilet paper. Tell us, is it true? Like there were no toilet paper. And then like there were no toilet paper, and allegedly like the doors to the toilet were closed. They were locked.
Well, because we are not at the studio at the same time, people that said there was no toilet paper, they were there at that point when they realized. So I think the manner in which they said it, it's the problem. Because they wanted to show, there's not even toilet paper. But
were there toilet paper?
How tell you? Yes, there was.
How tell you?
But there was toilet paper provided, but
Yeah.
because of it was not based in time.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Trying to hide. So you're trying to hide?
No, but I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, but how was the moral kind of for you?
Yeah,
And presenters.
Well, I guess in a little way, everybody was heartful, you know, you were just fed up.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that happens, it's pissing you off even further. Just add it to the fire, and then eventually there were listeners that came in to support their favorite presenters because they feel the presenters are not being treated right, and this is not done, and this and that, and then eventually it resulted to what it was. Yeah.
So this whole experience, how do you take it? Like the entire debacle, the protest, did it make you strong to continue doing what you love, or you learned something about radio?
No, I think at some point, I deviated on a course. You understand? Because the aim was to get there, do what you need to do, and get out. So as a result, you become friends. You share the same sentiments at some point, and you become one. And before you know it, you are a unit, and you came there as an individual. You know why I'm saying that? Yeah? We were supposed to really just strike it to go on air, and my show was the first show that was supposed to be the show 8 was strike. You understand? So in my mind, I was thinking, as much as I'm doing this, I don't wanna tinter my name at the same time. So I'm doing this with a clear mind. Yeah, I'm playing it safe. So we were supposed to meet and go inside the studio, all of us, by 9 o'clock. Or 8:30, all of these people that were saying, hey, they were nowhere to be found. You call them, voicemail, this and this. Then it hit me, you're on your own. You came here alone. The people the ones that were in the front page of some newspaper, you know, they were there. They were like running and morning time everybody was just there. Phone voicemail, Babang doesn't answer, we ring a fair, you know. And then I decided, well, what do I want? At that point in time I decided, what do I want? And I stepped back because now sometimes there's this thing we call broken telephone. I don't want to be classified as ba. You understand? Although my views are different, you understand? So we had to do what we had to do to see change, but at the same time, we are brands, we are working towards something. Motheo FM is a community radio station. We want to get to body commercial and PBS system, you know? So if you're doing that and then you paint a wrong picture about yourself, chances are they're not gonna even touch you. You understand? But sometimes you stand for something or you fall for anything. So basically the choice is yours. So it's a difficult decision to make. But at some point you need to look at what you want as an individual.
So there were some presenters who were hated by them.
A lot.
A lot,
you know, AZ, them, but they were like the faces of the strike. But it's true, you know. Now I live for the truth, you understand? So I'm here and I know everybody's gonna see. It is public knowledge. We were all there. We were so there. So it's because you remember the Mosupatsela before I left, there was another fight similar to that one. You understand? So I kind of got used to the environment. But to Kala at some point, I was listening to the audio at a high, you know, because that's what I do. I listen to everybody. And then he said something like, when you are working at an environment, remember why you are there. So it kind of added on what I already told myself. Like it felt like I was like, no man, let me just, you know, leave this thing and remember the craft. That's when I started going back to the books, how this is done, how it was done, how it has evolved, where the direction it's taken, and so forth.
No, that's nice. Hey, that's nice. Hey, you've been through a lot.
Yeah, I've been through a lot. My life is a movie, bruh, you know, because in the midst of all that, there was Gusheshe involved. And then I became Guluva Gusheshe. And then I even bought a Gusheshe. You know? But that buying a Gusheshe for me was like a step, or do I really believe this thing will work or not, you know? Then I bought it. I was like, if I really believe it's gonna work, then let it be. Then I bought a Gusheshe 325, multi-5 straight 6. It's there hiding somewhere in the garage.
So go Motheo, same as Mosupatsela. Was there someone you had a crush on?
Nah, not necessarily. I think by then I was already grown up. I kind of knew what was going
You
on.
fraternize with your colleagues?
No, you know why? Ne? Because it kills the craft. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes. At first there was this thing, this stigma around presenters. You know, in order for you to be at your happiest, you need to date another presenter, as an actor, you need to date another actor, and stuff like that. But those are ideas about, you know.
Yeah.
It's not really, that's what they think. So it's somebody else's mentality. So
But did it happen? Have you ever observed it?
when?
Dating within radio at the same station.
Yeah, I've seen other radio stations do it. You know.
Those
Because-
who had.
let me make a classical example. The very same Itumelem Putla,
Yeah.
that was anyway, the very same to you, Itumelem Putla, that was doing the show Mosupatsela. He was dating Teboho. Teboho was the lady that was doing another show there. And then they became a successful couple. They have a child together. Maybe one I think 107.4, we don't know. But anyway.
So, don't really like you want to say.
No! You know,
That's nice.
radio presenter, I'm a presenter, so I know, I kind of have an idea of how they think.
Yeah. And then you left Motheo, then to Motheo FM. Why did you leave?
You know what?
And why Motheo FM this time?
I love changes, you understand, and I love growth.
Yeah.
So there came a point where I figured, you know, ever since high school, like I said, after high school, the next best thing that I did for myself was joining radio.
Yeah.
So ever since then, everything I know, is self-taught. Only when I got to Motheo, and they were like, I think it was 2 years later, they were like the workshop, you know, and this is how it's done. This is, it's not supposed to look like this. This is the selling point. This is the show strategy. All of those things. Then you get to understand even further. But then, I guess, I got too much. I just needed a break. But you know, the fatal thing about radio is that it's not easy to go in. Unless if, I don't know what, but
unless you have connections.
If maybe you have connections or luck is on your side. So now I just left there because I was speaking to the management in Mosupatsela with regard to show your weekend. So that I can have Monday to Friday to work on something else. And then have the weekend to do radio. And then when I am thirsty to do this thing, I cannot give on something else that needs to be sorted out through radio, then I will go back. Yeah.
Okay, remote digital age, when I did the online radio stations, that was bringing up, and podcasts.
Yes.
Do you think podcasts, online radio stations, are they a threat to traditional radio?
Not necessarily, and I'm saying this because of target market is not the same. With regard to online radio stations, unless if you are in an environment where Wi-Fi is always available or internet is always at your disposal, it's not difficult to listen to. Podcasting, it's something else. It's something that it's audio visual. You understand? You're watching this thing and you can hear what's going on and you can judge the energy for yourself. Everything is just there. I think we are in an era where we like comfort. So if you're in a comfort zone and you're learning something or something is done, it's like by then you are not cartoon washing or doing this. You are just here and this thing is there. So even that podcast, I think you are here, it's there. And then you know TV outside. So it kind of like replaced TV and radio and found a loophole to work for itself. We ungoverned. Yes.
But how do you know personality then? But only didn't introduce when you do that, I realize some presenters copying from mainstream presenters. Originality. Do we still have some presenters? Do we still have presenters who are original? Who don't want to be like Batukara? Who don't laugh like Batukara? Guluva.
You know, it's a good thing. That's when I put you how are you? Like it's very important. That question. It's because that thing. Remember now, you are a radio personality,
Yeah.
there are strategies in place, and you add your personality there. You know, I can say this is a chair, but somebody might say, how but eventually you're talking about the chair. That's where the personality comes in. So I guess it's lack of knowledge, basically. You know, knowledge is power, like they always say. So I don't necessarily judge them. It's because of they are working with what they know, but they should be exposed to something else. In as much as they are monationally and so forth. I was speaking to Q-Boy, you know, that Rodman, I respect him so much because he's open like that. He then said to me, you know, Guluva, you always do this thing that a lot of presenters fail in doing. You know, I think it's a skill somewhere whereby you make an example and you go through the example, you give it color, and then you come back to whatever statement you were saying without deviating and without missing the point. So he made me aware of something I was doing naturally without me being aware. So these are things that outfit up a workshop when you find, oh, maybe that's my strong point, maybe I should use this so that. So these people, they've never, it's about branding now. How many people can follow me? You miss it. Like Zola said, it was always about the dream, not about the bling. But now we're thinking if you get many followers, you'll get endorsements, you'll get a shortcut to soft life. You understand? But you gotta be in it for the love of it. Yes. That's why I am ready, because you gotta live it every day.
Have you ever tried your luck to go like commercial and national radio stations? And if you have, were they gatekeepers?
Hey, you know, to be honest, in this day and age, you need a plug. You need somebody that will vouch for you and really tell it like it is. I haven't told you, you understand? Because there's nothing I haven't done. I've sent demos, I've walked in, I've sent videos, I've sent emails, I've sent more demos, you know. I've done whatever it takes. I mean, whatever you can think of, I've done. You are one. And I realized it's not really about that, because at some point in the he was like, I love the way you do radio, but can you speak Soto? But he didn't say that to me. He said that about me to somebody that knows me. So I was not there to vouch for myself. Even now, I'm still, you know, hustling, because should I get a chance, let's say, I will kill it. There's no presenter like I can guarantee you that much. I bet on my Gusheshe with that one.
So do you think these presenters go commercial and mainstream radio stations? That presenters a community radio station look up to. Do you think they feel threatened by some hot presenters from community radio stations like Guluva, watch is up on Motheo, watch is up on Mosupatsela? By the time I am done, you will not threat this person will take my show.
Obviously. You know why I'm saying that? There's a presenter. He's gonna leave mutual friend. So they didn't know how close I was to that friend. You understand? So this person was like, hey man, there's a guy there called Motheo, and he's doing the prime time slot, he's doing 3 to 6. So his name is Guluva, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he showed that guy my Facebook, so they said, my Facebook page. And that guy said, hey man, I don't think I'll be able to help this guy, because I can already see me and this guy in the same room. Somebody's gonna leave not a happy person, and it's not that guy. So in short, he said, how poor is again? So that man is a bull himself. So all he needs to do is just to be given an opportunity, because at some point we were helping the late Teboho, myself and may soul rest in peace, Dada and Stan of which then I shed some light, and then he's now go another online radio station. He's doing reggae there. So we were there, and the both of us were on air, now listening, plus the guy. And then I said something, we all said something, but what I said penetrated the hearts of the listeners. Yes, it went through the intertwined hearts of the listeners. It reached the point from the bottom of my heart to the next.
Sorry guys, I don't have anything.
What's now? You know, and that person laughed what I said. All I said was one love, one art, one destiny. You understand? That's when we were wrapping up the show, and then that caller called and said the same thing I just said. It made me feel proud. You understand? Because whatever I'm saying and I'm doing, it's not a dream. It's not like I get to be getting. Yeah.
I see some of like our Lesotho presenters, more province in our Free State. They all want to be in our SABC radio in Free State. Are you looking for opportunities outside? Because I think here we only have one national SABC radio.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people go back and get that. Have you ever looked outside the province?
I have. You know, I traveled a lot. I still do even now.
Yeah.
But what I believe in traveling, I realized in as much as we would want to believe there are better opportunities out there. We can create our better opportunities. It's just that, you know, the mindset, this thing mindset, the word mindset on its own, it's because you have your mind set on something.
Wow.
So you need to emancipate yourself from that mental whatever that we have going on, because you know why when you dream all over and just before you reach the ground then you wake up. It's because the mind can intercept everything else, but it doesn't know what happens after death.
Wow.
You understand? That's when you wake up. It cannot. You've never died before. So it's that mindset that I'm talking about, because if we just accept things for what they are and make the best of the opportunity, because we are just here for a limited number of years and then we are out again. So that as soon as you know that you accept everything and you do everything.
So apart from radio, what do you do?
Well, apart from radio,
private life, at your spare time, what do you do?
I love engines.
Yes.
We are trying to grow motorsports. I love things that have never been there. In as much as there's an opportunity, as long as we can change our mindset, that is what I'm working against. I'm working against the mindset. I just want to control the mindset as far as I can get. You understand? Because now this spin and drift, at first Gusheshe in its you understand? And the name Guluva doesn't help either. You understand? So that in itself, it now evolved into, I remember when we were nationalizing the spin and drift events with the general. Yes, Masi Goliath, net of the general.
He's a beast.
He's a legend, that guy. So we pushed there for a very long time. And we started here, and then it evolved. People started coming Lebana. It became a family affair, until a point where we introduced small kids into this thing. By it's safer. You understand?
In an entertainment way.
In an entertainment way, more closed environment. The spectator that side, cars this side, and this person only the mentors are high. They know what can do, or body code driver and so forth. So it's something that was done somewhere out there. So we are bringing it around. So it would really be an honor to have an arena where we can train young kids from one generation to the next. You understand? They must do things that have never been explored.
So you're still a member of the Gusheshe club?
I'm a member 051 Kasi Rebels. At first I was a member BMW. It was Bloemfontein's most wanted. And then like I said, in Sehloho, and then I'm a member of Team C as well. I'm a member of Team General. I'm a member of Team Second Gear. Team Laka. Well, basically every team in Bloemfontein. There was a team before. I don't know what happened. Maybe just bandies. And then BMW Parliament. That is what the other one gets out a meaning, a purpose. Yes.
Papa, we're about to close, ne?
Yes. We are about to wrap. This is so nice. Let's not wrap up.
Wow. I hope you mean I enjoyed this conversation. There's a lot. I hope our viewers out there, ne? There's a lot about Guluva, ne? So how to Papa, is there a kid? Is there a wife? Is there a girlfriend?
Yes. There's a child. Oh. Hey.
How many do you have? I have 2 boys, eh?
No, I know one. I have one.
Short, okay.
No, I have one, and her name is Kamuhelo.
Yeah.
Amara. Oriokami.
Yeah.
One.
Oh,
Yes.
are you still like
Also,
together with them? Huh?
yes.
Oh, nice.
Also, very Vanessa Mewa high.
Mm.
You understand? So, yes, but the mother doesn't like this publicity stuff. You know
she's
how
a very
we are.
private person.
Yeah, she's a very reserved somebody. You understand? So,
Yeah.
Tina, well, I can say I'm trying to teach her what I teach her early, what I learned late.
Yeah.
So she would sometimes take a phone, I'd say intro that. And I'm a very happy father sitting there like, yeah.
So would you want her to pursue radio as well?
No, after I build my own studios, then she can do them. But for now, the industry is just full of totis, bosses buying Benzes with the cassie stories. Yeah, so for now I wouldn't let her, but
Okay.
I want to groom her into the industry. Let her know what the industry is about.
So lastly, then that one.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years.
In the next 10 years from now. What about the guy?
Well, now I want to be the change I want to see. You
Okay.
understand? Yes. So,
You wanna be the what?
the change I want to
Or
see.
the change I want to see?
Yes. Now, if you look around Taban Sumona, there are so many things that can give you an idea of what the history was.
Yeah.
I got to taste a little bit of that, but I want more. I want to see Tabancho as a better town than what it already currently is. You understand? Empower people with things Sehloho. They will make them sustain themselves and live for their faith. I'm not only looking forward for me, because this is the future, or rather the reality I want to create for my kids. You understand? So if I have anything to do, somehow to contribute in changing this, then so be it. Yeah. So through sports, music, and art, but I want to create a platform where it's gonna be considered as bonus, teacher, in that fraternity. Yeah, exactly.
The respect it needs.
Exactly.
Yeah, my man. It was nice chatting to you. I enjoyed, man.
Yeah, we are not done, but we are done.
There's a lot of scientific way. Now, I am happy to know your story. Thank you for sharing your story with us, man.
For sure. I'm sure right now a parent just wrote out of nowhere. I want to start shooting. That's the nature of here. But before we shut out, these are the words that I've learned from Uzo. He says, whatever a man feels at that point in time will be reflected in everything that he does.
Powerful.
Yes.
Guluva.
Yes, sir.
Guluva.
Thank
Thank you guys. Yo. I learned a lot. Hope you learned more about Guluva. What makes him tick. His life already. Okala guy. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. From me, Teboho Masakala, Mr. Strong Courageous. I'm out.